Hydrangeas are beloved for their stunning blooms and versatility in garden landscapes. However, choosing the right location for planting hydrangeas is crucial for their health and growth. In this video, we'll explore the factors you need to consider when selecting the perfect spot for your hydrangeas to thrive. Hydrangeas have varying sunlight preferences depending on the species and variety. Hydrangeas are native to regions of East Asia and the Americas. In East Asia, particularly in Japan, China, and Korea, hydrangeas have been growing for centuries in their natural habitats. In the Americas, hydrangeas are native to areas such as the eastern United States, Mexico, and parts of Central and South America. These plants typically grow in woodlands, along stream banks, and in other moist, shady areas in their native habitats. Generally, they prefer partial shade, receiving morning sun and afternoon shade, especially in hotter regions. However, some varieties can tolerate more sun exposure, while others thrive in full shade. When selecting a planting location, consider the amount of sunlight it receives throughout the day. Observe the area for at least a week to understand its light patterns, as microclimates within your yard can affect sunlight availability. For example, areas near buildings or large trees may create pockets of shade or filtered light, which can be suitable for certain hydrangea varieties. Additionally, consider the orientation of your garden beds relative to the sun's path, as this can influence the intensity and duration of sunlight received. When deciding where to plant hydrangeas, it's essential to take into account the specific climate conditions of your region. Hydrangeas thrive in temperate climates characterized by moderate temperatures and adequate humidity levels. Extreme weather conditions can adversely affect their growth and flowering. Temperature plays a significant role in hydrangea growth. High temperatures can cause stress to the plants, leading to wilting of leaves and flowers. Additionally, prolonged exposure to intense heat can result in scorched foliage and reduced blooming. On the other hand, cold temperatures can damage hydrangea buds and foliage, especially if they experience frost or freezing conditions. Therefore, it's crucial to choose planting locations that offer some protection from extreme heat or cold, such as areas with partial shade or sheltered spots. Humidity is another factor to consider when planting hydrangeas. These plants prefer moderate humidity levels to thrive, as overly dry or humid conditions can negatively impact their health. In regions with low humidity, hydrangeas may benefit from supplemental watering or misting to maintain adequate moisture levels around the plant. Conversely, in areas with high humidity, good air circulation is essential to prevent fungal diseases and ensure optimal growth. When selecting hydrangea varieties for your garden, it's essential to choose cultivars that are well suited to your climate zone. Different hydrangea species and cultivars have varying temperature and humidity preferences, so it's crucial to research which varieties are best suited to your specific growing conditions. For example, in warmer regions, consider planting heat-tolerant varieties such as Limelight or Pinky Winky, which can withstand higher temperatures and sun exposure. Conversely, in cooler climates, opt for cold-hardy varieties like Endless Summer or Annabelle, which are more resilient to frost and cold snaps. Hydrangeas are versatile plants that can thrive in various regions of the United States, but their specific performance may depend on the local climate and soil conditions. Here are some general guidelines for where hydrangeas tend to thrive in the United States. Hydrangeas are well suited to the cool, temperate climate of the northeastern states, including areas like New England and the Mid-Atlantic region. Summers in these areas are often mild to warm, with moderate humidity levels, providing ideal conditions for hydrangea growth. In the southeastern states, including the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, hydrangeas can thrive in the right conditions. While the climate in this region can be hot and humid, hydrangeas generally prefer partial shade and moist, well-drained soil. Providing adequate shade and regular watering can help hydrangeas flourish in the southeast. Hydrangeas are popular in the Midwest, where they can add beauty to gardens and landscapes. States like Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan experience a range of temperatures throughout the year, with cold winters and warm summers. Hydrangeas can tolerate colder temperatures if properly mulched and protected in winter. The mild maritime climate of the Pacific Northwest, including states like Washington and Oregon, is well suited to hydrangea cultivation. The region's relatively moderate temperatures and ample rainfall provide ideal conditions for hydrangea growth. However, some varieties may require protection from strong winds and excessive moisture. While parts of California, especially coastal areas, can provide suitable conditions for hydrangeas, the hot and dry climate of Southern California may pose challenges. In these areas, hydrangeas may require ample shade, regular watering, and soil amendment to retain moisture. Mountain West. In mountainous regions like Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming, hydrangeas can thrive with proper care. However, gardeners may need to provide additional protection against temperature extremes and ensure adequate soil moisture, especially in drier climates. As mentioned, hydrangeas generally thrive in locations with morning sun and afternoon shade, although some varieties can tolerate more sunlight. Garden beds with well-draining, humus-rich soil are ideal for hydrangeas. Ensure that the soil pH is suitable for the specific hydrangea variety, as it can influence flower color. Borders along fences or pathways can provide a beautiful backdrop for hydrangeas, adding color and texture to the landscape. When planting in borders, consider the mature size of the hydrangea variety to prevent overcrowding and allow for adequate air circulation. Hydrangeas can also be grown successfully in containers, making them versatile options for patios, balconies, or small gardens. Choose large containers with drainage holes and fill them with a well-draining potting mix. Container-grown hydrangeas may require more frequent watering, especially during hot weather. For landscaping around homes, hydrangeas make excellent foundation plants, adding interest and curb appeal. Plant them near the base of your house, ensuring they have enough space to grow and won't obstruct windows or pathways. Consideration of spacing requirements is crucial when planting hydrangeas. Space plants according to their mature size, typically ranging from 3 to 6 feet apart, depending on the variety. Proper spacing allows for adequate air circulation and prevents overcrowding, reducing the risk of disease. Companion planting involves strategically selecting plants that complement each other's needs and benefit from growing together. When choosing companion plants for hydrangeas, consider their preferences for sunlight, soil type, and moisture levels. Shade-loving perennials like hostas, ferns, and astilbes make excellent companions for hydrangeas, as they thrive in similar conditions. These plants can help create a lush, layered look in the garden, while providing contrast in foliage, texture, and color. In sunnier areas, consider planting hydrangeas alongside other flowering perennials such as daylilies, coneflowers, and black-eyed Susans. These plants can add seasonal interest and attract pollinators to the garden. When planning companion planting, pay attention to the soil pH requirements of both hydrangeas and their companions. Acid-loving plants like azaleas, rhododendrons, and camellias can thrive alongside hydrangeas, as they prefer similar acidic soil conditions. Avoid planting aggressive or invasive species near hydrangeas, as they may compete for resources and overwhelm the garden. Instead, choose plants that complement hydrangeas' growth habits and contribute to a harmonious landscape design. In some regions, certain species of hydrangeas can become invasive if they spread uncontrollably and outcompete native plants, disrupting local ecosystems. One such example is the Hydrangea arborescens, commonly known as smooth hydrangea or wild hydrangea. While native to the eastern United States, including areas like the Appalachian Mountains, smooth hydrangeas can become invasive in regions where they are introduced outside of their native range. Smooth hydrangeas have a vigorous growth habit and can produce abundant seedlings, allowing them to colonize new areas rapidly under favorable conditions. They are also capable of forming dense thickets, which can crowd out native vegetation and alter habitats. As a result, smooth hydrangeas are considered invasive in some parts of North America where they have been introduced, particularly in regions with favorable growing conditions and minimal natural predators or controls. To prevent the spread of invasive hydrangea species, gardeners and land managers should avoid planting them in areas where they are not native and consider alternative native species for landscaping and restoration projects. Additionally, early detection and removal of invasive hydrangeas can help prevent their establishment and spread in natural areas. Understanding where to plant hydrangeas is essential for their successful growth and thriving in your garden. By considering factors such as sunlight, soil conditions, climate, and spacing requirements, you can create an optimal environment for these beautiful flowering shrubs. Whether you choose to plant them in garden beds, borders, containers, or as foundation plants, providing the right conditions will encourage healthy growth and abundant blooms. Additionally, companion planting with suitable plants can complement hydrangeas and enhance the overall aesthetics of your garden. Selecting companion plants that share similar sunlight, soil, and moisture preferences will create a harmonious landscape while supporting biodiversity. It's also crucial to be mindful of invasive species and avoid planting hydrangeas in regions where they can become problematic. By making informed decisions and following best practices for landscaping and gardening, you can enjoy the beauty of hydrangeas while minimizing environmental impacts. Overall, with proper planning and care, hydrangeas can be a delightful addition to any garden, adding color, texture, and charm for years to come. So, whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, consider incorporating hydrangeas into your outdoor space and watch as they bring joy and beauty to your surroundings.